So this is the Dripex, D-R-I-P-E-X leg press machine. It's a kind of an odd name. It got some pretty good reviews, and it seems to be basically the same as the majority of the machines I was looking at that were maybe similar in price or a little more expensive. Some of the machines that were $200 and $300 more, $400 more. I don't know what you get from them. I watched several videos of people reviewing them, and I mean, it does what I need it to do. I don't know that much about other machines. I'm sure a professional $5,000 machine is way better, but this has rollers and the chrome bars, and it seems to glide nicely on there. It's just a little bit, I don't want to say rough, but there is a little bit of noise going up and down. It's not real noisy. I do it, my wife's sleeps right above here, and she doesn't hear me when I'm doing it at night. So that's it. So let's get on here and we'll try this out. All right, everything's together. I have everything set up. I've been doing a little bit of trying it out. I got some weights on there. I'm going to do the leg press first. And to do the leg press, you just take the seat from up there, and just like most machines, you just put it in the holes down here, and it just sits there. In watching some videos on how to do these machines correctly, it sounds like this platform here should be up as far as it can go. I'm sure that's relative to the machine. Some might be able to adjust too far, but this seems to be working for me for the leg press. Now, the one thing I did notice, which goes against what I'm seeing you should do when you're doing a leg press, but when I have my feet up here, I have it down low here. My ankles, the back of my feet are up off of the platform. I don't know if that's an issue with me, the flexibility of my ankles and my feet. And if I move them up higher, it seems like it would be better. And it is a little bit, but then I have less. Seems like I have less movement coming down. It seems a little more awkward. So the one guy that had a machine like this, it wasn't this one, he was having that same issue, and he's someone that works on these a lot. So what he did was he put a squat wedge on the platform and had the wedge, the high part, near the bottom, and then the wedge up, so that you can rest your foot on that. And then he also cut a slot in the mat, in the wedge, to accommodate the plate here where the platform swivels on. So I've got a yoga mat and rolled it up so that the roll part is on this side, and then I layered it a little bit so that it's kind of like a wedge, and that seems to be working for me. I may still buy a wedge, but for now, I just place it there, and it's not going to go anywhere because your feet are on it. And I'll put my feet up, my toes up off the edge, and I'll slide it down a little bit. And this way, they're actually pushing against something instead of lifting off the plate. So now, it feels better. The movement feels better, and my feet are more stable. And it was just on the toes of my feet. They felt like they were going to move around. So that seems to be working well. And then to do the hack squat, I'm sure it's the same on all these machines. You just pull the pin here and you slide this down. That's in that spot. You take the chair off of it, off back here, the pad. You put it up here. And then from the videos I've been watching, the recommendation is to put this down as low as you can. So you just unscrew this. I think there's versions of this machine that have a pin that just goes in, it just pushes in. But this is a pin that screws in, which is a little annoying, but not a big deal. You don't have to screw it in all the way. It's like about that long. I was doing the same thing with the pad, and I think the pad is also helping with as far as slippage. But I've been working with this up because I forgot to move it, and it seems to be okay being further up, but I'm going to try it down lower and just see how it feels. Now, my feet feel like they're slipping a little bit. I think the soles of my shoes are worn too much, because it does have a diamond pattern grid on there for gription. I may have to put some friction tape across there if I'm just going to use my shoes. If I use one of the pads or the squat wedges, that might be more helpful. But now I can't get down as low as I'd like to, and I think I'm not changing the weight out for the leg press that I use for the leg press, so that is a little heavier than I think I should do with doing this. So I might be able to go down lower with a lesser weight. So yeah, so my ankles aren't coming up off this platform. They may if I get down a lot lower. And that's that for the machine. I think it'll do what we need it to do. Want to maintain some leg strength and flexibility, and I like the idea of the machine for the hack squat, and I never had a leg press machine, but I like the idea of both of them in one machine for the space. And I still have them, but I can get rid of them. A squat rack, and I don't like the idea of the free weight on my back and worrying about bending my back and getting in the right position and all that stuff. I just don't have, I can't afford an injury that's going to be, just be detrimental to me going forward with my physical activities and stuff. So the hack squat, I think, will be fine for that. What this rack has, which a lot of the cheaper ones, and this was, I think it was about $500. I don't remember the exact price, but this one, I like the wide stands legs on it. It's got the two posts as opposed to one single column, and that seems to be more stable. I don't know if it is. I never had one of those other machines, but it just seems like it would be more stable. And then they have the pegs for extra weights if you want to clean up the weights. I have a whole lot of weights over here, so if I wanted to, I could put a bunch of them on there to get them off the floor. Unfortunately, right now, the way it's set up, there's not enough room for me to put the pegs on both sides, so I'm not going to really mess with that at all. But it has 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, and then of course the 2 for the actual chair going up and down. So that's nice, a nice feature. And there's some room underneath for me to put some of the lighter things under here.
50 days later.
Quick update on the Dripex Hack Squat Leg Press. I've been using it for a little while now.
50 days.
I had to, it was a little bit noisy, so I sprayed some silicone on the glide bars, and then there were a little bit of some squeaking. I just sprayed some lithium grease into the axle area of the rollers, and that seems to have silenced it. There is kind of it's a little bit noisy going up and down, especially during the hack squat, like just rattly noise, not squeaking or grinding or anything like that. Doesn't seem to be a problem. One thing I did notice though during the hack squat, your back's against this, and then as you're pressing, at least for me, and I'm not very tall, but as I'm pressing against this with my back, I'm kind of hitting this, the head stop here, and it's tipping like this, and the two pegs here that go in the holes, it's riding in and out and rubbing against here, and the plastic cap is pulling out. So that's going to cause an issue eventually. Certainly the cap will come out completely, which isn't a problem, but it's rubbing, and you're going to end up eventually just wear this apart here. So I'm going to hack this and put a piece of wood. I tried it just now, and I got just a piece of scrap 2x4, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm just going to tape it on there with some duct tape, and that's enough of a raised area to prevent the headrest part. You can see where it was brushing up against it here. So the board was here, so it's helping to stabilize this, and it felt a lot better. So that's not a big deal, but you may need to do that if you're having the same problem. There's the final product. There's enough space here to fit the tape through the back around this post. There's other ways you could do it. You could probably drill holes through the wood and fit them right over the bolts here. But this will work fine. It's stable. You just need a surface there. It's it's a 2x4. It's a little thick, but I don't think it's going to cause an issue. It's definitely better than having the whole head part tipping back.